Welcome to this tribute for Grizzer, our Great Plains subspecies who was euthanized on January 27th. He was born on May 5th, 2004 with his sister Maya, also joined by a cousin Nisa to comprise the 2004 litter that was adopted here at the International Wolf Center. Grizzer was nicknamed Grizz based on his grizzly bear-like appearance, and that name stuck in the Name the Pup contest. There are many, many staff, too many to thank, for their care for Grizzer throughout his entire life. And Grizzer did have his moments. Certainly living with two sisters had a tendency to give him a little bit of challenges. When he joined the exhibit, he joined two Arctic males, Shadow and Malik, and so he was a formidable wolf. He was also a wolf with a lot of attitude, and he did test Shadow for dominance. Early on, Shadow won that dominance test, and he didn't proceed to have any more, although there's something about Grizzer's direct eye stare that could get your point across without any physical contact. It's hard to be too dominant when you have an Aiden hanging off your neck, so dominance changed, and Grizzer for the while was kind of on the bottom of the rank order. So Malik was the second ranking male to his brother Shadow. The pups aren't part of the rank order yet, they're just kind of figuring their way, so that made Grizzer on the bottom, and that was Maya, his sister, asserting her status as a dominant female. So sometimes life wasn't always that easy for Grizzer, being on the bottom of the rank order, but after the pups started to grow up, Grizzer started to change his focus a little bit, and he, as I said, direct eye contact could intimidate anybody, and here's him intimidating Malik, and ultimately led to Malik's retirement. By 2010, Shadow and Malik were retired, and Grizzer was left to try to figure out if he could take leadership. And here he is with Denali doing a little bit of testing, and it was pretty apparent that he really didn't have what was necessary to become a leader. And there was a lot of strife with Grizzer and Denali that resulted in head wounds that Grizzer carried with him for the rest of his life. Scars where he had conflicts, and Denali, being a little bit taller, would jaw spar and grab and scrape the top of Grizzer's head. And you can see here by Grizzer's tail that didn't stop him at all. Even though he's got a little bit of a head wound there, he still wants to show some leadership. It didn't work out that way. It turned out that Aiden became the pack leader with Maya, and after Maya passed away, the challenges for Grizzer were such that he went into retirement. But that doesn't mean that he was alone in retirement. He welcomed several different pack members, exhibit pack members, coming into retirement. Luna was the first, and what was interesting about Luna is that he'd never physically met Luna, yet he welcomed her into retirement. She was a fairly strong, dominant female, so I think from Grizzer's standpoint, he was pretty used to dealing with pretty strong, dominant females, considering his sister was Maya. But then it wasn't much longer that Aiden came into retirement. And we saw a pack of three that really enjoyed chasing each other around retirement. We have a term called the Grizzer 500, where Grizzer would just run and chase and run circles with the staff, with the other wolves. Certainly was kind of his signature move. When Aiden passed, we had Bolts who came into retirement. While they didn't share the same space, Bolts was next door, and there was a lot of medical care that was important for Bolts. And Grizzer had a little bit of an issue with veterinarians. And you'll hear Grizzer do a little bit of a bark call when the vets showed up. And not too long after Bolts' demise, Denali joined Grizzer in retirement. And again, getting a little bit older, you see the famous RLU scrape and a little bit of that Grizzer 500, which has been modified with age, but still it was something that he really liked to do. So Grizz, we have many, many tales of your adventures, many, many memories that people have been sharing, and we really appreciate everyone's emails and everyone's thoughts about Grizzer. He was an incredible animal. He's an incredible ambassador, and for many, he's been the life of this place for such a long time. So we want to honor him, and we're going to share more on the webinar on Thursday night. If you want to log in and catch our Winter Dynamics webinar, I'll have more details about Grizzer's final days and share with you some memories of his winter dynamics that he had throughout his life, as well as current winter dynamics going on in the exhibit pack. So thanks for watching, and thanks for thinking about us. It's a tough day, but we know he lived a great life, and we're gonna miss that face at the window every day we come in for wolf care.